What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Casters of Horror. I'm Chris Mass.
I'm Shane, and this week we are talking about Exhuma. Exhuma? Did I pronounce that? I don't even know if I pronounced that.
I think you did. I don't know. I don't speak South Korean.
I don't either.
So,
and I didn't have anything clever to say about this title. So I
could try. You want me to try? This is a film that came out in 2024. It was written and directed by Jang Jae-yoon. It is about a group of individuals, a group of individuals who, that sounds like an oxymoron. Basically what they do is they go in and they exhume bodies. And from, of course, after they've been buried, and they try to find and set the ancestors to rest, or try to exorcise any sort of evil spirits that may be connected in the ancestral past. So, does that about sum it up? They come across one grave that is very, very ominous. And this is the story of that meeting of that grave.
Yeah. Because you've really got like two separate groups of people here, right? Because one of them is like a shaman, and then the other one is the sort of like grave purifier, or together they purify graves.
Well, we've got a geomancer who he basically helps find the perfect burial spots for the dead, for families. We've also got the funeral director, or he's kind of like the holy man of the group, if you will. He's the priest in a way.
Yeah.
And then we've got a almost like brother and sister team, who kind of adopted brother and sister, who one is a, what would you call them? Is that the ones you were talking about with the shaman and the?
Yeah, like I believe she is supposed to be a shaman of sorts.
Yeah. So, they perform rituals that are to cast out spirits, hold spirits back, bind them, release them, things like that. Yeah. Anyway, this film goes a lot into South Korean religion and lore and mysticism based on their beliefs, ancestral beliefs, family lineage, things of the sort. And things go extremely wrong with one of the groups. Now, Shane, I know this originally was going to be a film that I was going to review on my own. And then you came in, ended up watching it, and then I haven't been here for a while. Hey, welcome back, everybody, by the way.
Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I had some personal stuff come up, but I wasn't able to make it to recordings, but here I am. So I don't have to put up the milk cartons and whatnot. So
I almost did.
Yeah, I know. You were like calling police. Better call on the police. But anyway, yeah, you ended up watching it then after. And what were your thoughts on this one? Because I know you said, "Wow, that was an interesting set of films."
Yeah.
When you wrote to me, so it is rather long. It sits 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So let me then kick it off by saying, I guess if I had to talk about any negatives about this film, it would be the structure of it. Right?
Okay.
You say the film is long. It is, but the thing that makes it feel long is that this is not, I don't care how you say it, this is not a film, all right? This is not a movie. This is two movies, okay?
Two movies, okay.
It is two movies. We have a setup, we have a conflict, and we have a resolution.
Yep.
And at that point, the film is half over.
Yeah.
Okay? And this isn't one of those cases, like where we've talked about before how It's like, oh, this movie's dragging on. How is it only half over? No, this was enjoyable from start to finish, but then it's only half over.
Yeah.
And then you literally have another setup, conflict, and resolution. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
um, and I say that's mildly a negative. That's the only thing is it made the movie feel kind of long and
Hmm.
just kind of disjointed, right? Because
Yeah.
it felt like it was split in two. But I want to clarify: this is not a barbarian situation where
No.
where like the first 20 minutes was really great and then the rest of it also existed.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, that's my thought on negatives. Do you have any to throw out on your
Um,
side?
no, I mean, I felt the same sort of way. It
Okay.
was set up very. eh, They preface it by setting it up in chapters.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are segments of this film that are titled chapters.
Mhm.
You know, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're specifically set up that way. And you've got 1 and 2, which make up the first film,
Film. Yeah.
and 3 and 4, which make up the second half. And I mean, I see what they did. I think there could have been a little bit more, something that flowed a little bit easier and made it a little bit more cohesive in the center. But
Yeah.
it really, I mean, it didn't take me out of the film. It didn't change my opinion on it.
Mm.
Um, it still was solid two films.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was. It
Yeah.
was. So
Yeah. And that's to spin it into the positive. That's what I'll say too. Is that I still really enjoyed this film or
yeah.
two films, right? As long as it seemed, and despite the fact that it actually felt like two movies, I, they were both were really good, or all four segments were really good.
Yeah.
However you want to put
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, obviously, really, really solid acting. I'm not super familiar with any of the actors, but I know that they're pretty well known in South Korea.
Hmm. You mean you're
Um,
not familiar with Choi Min Sik or
I am
Kim Go
not.
In
I am not.
or Lee Do Hyun?
But I did some digging, and they're pretty well known names.
Yeah.
Over there. It sounds like so.
I've seen uh the main girl that's in this. I've seen her in something
Hmm,
else.
okay.
And the older gentleman, I had seen him in something else, but I do watch a lot of Asian films. I watch Korean films, Japanese films, and things
Yeah.
like that. So to me, it was like, oh yeah, I've seen them. So
Yeah, I felt like I recognized him, the Geomancer
yeah,
character, but I couldn't say from where. But no, yeah. So obviously, very solid cast, very well acted, and
yeah,
man, the overall tone of this movie, it was really creepy.
hmm,
And one thing I will say too, even though it sounds like I'm dissing on the sort of half and half structure, there is I found the whole thing to be really creepy, and then moving into the second half of the film, somehow they ratcheted it up that like really really messed up creepiness, and
yeah.
I was like, I wasn't sure it could get any creepier, and then suddenly it's just like, wow, this is
Took it to a new level.
yeah, it
Yeah,
really did.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
They on the second half of it, we get more visual effects.
yeah,
We get more a little bit more action even
yeah,
than we had in the first. So the first half is like almost like a setup throughout the whole thing, but it's not all at the same time.
yeah,
So, but it's just it's they did so well at this
yeah.
film.
Well, that's a
I
good point though, because that even though I said like there is an entire half with a setup, a conflict, and a resolution, that's
yeah,
true. But also that entire first half is the setup for the second half, which
exactly.
goes way way darker.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we get a look into one of the ceremonies, or actually a couple of them.
Mhm.
One of the main ones, and I don't know, it was just fascinating to me to see
Oh,
some of
me
this.
too.
Some of the um, enemy demon characters that we come upon
Yeah.
in the film, pretty realistic, pretty well done. So
Yeah.
I dug this film, man. I
I
really
did
did.
too.
From start to finish, it really had me captivated, and I thought it was beautifully filmed.
Yes.
Um, the storyline kept you going, and yeah, like you said, the acting was really good in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and especially in the second half where more of the intense action, I guess you would say, picks up, there are some really phenomenally framed shots,
yep,
especially like in the woods,
yep,
right? And so it's just really well done in that respect. And
yep,
yeah, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a
yep.
great film, and it's just to me another example of how Korean horror just excels
Oh yeah,
for the most part over what we get over here.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, if you guys want to check out Exhuma or however you say it in South
whatever.
Korean, you guys can check it out on Prime Video. It's there for rent or for sale. Highly recommend checking it out. You guys can get it on there, watch it. I think
I
I
think
saw mine in 4K.
yeah,
I
and I
think it was.
actually watched it on Shutter. So if you have
Oh,
a
did you?
Shutter
Okay,
subscription, it is available there too.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, then, if you're already paying for Shutter, then, you don't have to pay for it like I did on Prime Video. But you do have options. You can check it out on either one of those platforms. Let us know what you guys thought of it, or what you think about it, or what's your favorite Asian horror film. Let us know down in the comments down below. And while you're there, make sure to hit like and subscribe. The first new subscribers get nothing. They get to welcome me back. That's
that's
what
right.
they get to do. They're just like, hey, we're gonna subscribe mainly because that dude grew a massive beard when he was gone. So anyway, let us know down below. And yeah, we should be back next week. I'm saying we should be back next week with another film that you guys can check out. And we look forward to seeing you guys there. So, Shane, you got anything else?
I don't think I do, man.
All right.
If you
Does the
have any
cat have
more
anything?
Korean films that we should check out, let us know because
Yeah, yeah,
so far I've been super impressed with what I have seen.
yeah, yeah. So cool. Well, we appreciate you guys coming by. Leave us comments down below, and we will see you guys next week. Until then, get the hell out of here. We'll see you
See ya.
guys.